Hello everyone and welcome. Today we're going to be painting this 4.5-inch stone, but I kind of let my channel members pick what we were going to do. Let me explain. I keep 4 different baskets over on my side table and I keep ideas in there, and when I'm ready to film, I grab a basket. Well, this time I asked my channel members to pick for me. Y'all, it was kind of funny. I gave them no context. I didn't tell them what all was in the basket. I just gave them a picture. And this is what they picked. 82% of my channel members said this basket. So let's get it all set up and see what we can come up with. I don't have an in particular plan for this basket. I just really liked those colors and I knew it was about time to do another one of these stencils that I got from Debbie B. Since we already used the first, I'm gonna go in order and use the second. All right, y'all, I sat here for a hot minute giving this thing a once-over, trying to figure out what I would do, and I'm trying to dream in my head a little bit, and I realize the right side and the left side match each other, but they don't match the top, and then the top doesn't match the bottom. It's not a symmetrical stencil. And I was like, oh my gosh, how am I gonna make a mandala out of this? So I really got to looking, and I noticed the very top edge here looks pretty good and symmetrical. There is a center beam and then 2 sides and 2 sides and 2 sides spanning out from that. So I think I'm gonna do something a little different. I know, you're gonna tell me this is not how you use this stencil. But y'all, who says? Let's do something different and see how it goes. I was curious to see if my idea would work, so I got out one of my mandala brainstorms. Y'all, it's just a download. You can go to my Etsy shop and get one for yourself. They're really helpful when you're trying to plan. But I was still curious if I could use this stencil on the very edge of a rock like this. Y'all, I totally did. It is a go. I am totally gonna do this. So I'm gonna wipe this one off. I'm gonna go ahead and put it aside so that it can dry. I'm gonna give a stone 2 coats of black base paint, and I'm gonna let it dry for several days. And then we're gonna get some guidelines on here. Okay, before we begin using that number 2 stencil, I've got to get some guidelines on here so I know exactly where to hold that stencil up, and I'm wanting some guidelines for the middle because if you noticed, there was no stencil there. So I'm going to use my 4.5-inch DIY stencil. You guys, this comes with that Mandala Brainstorm that I used a while ago. You just download the whole package. All the instructions are there. I'll leave a link for it down below. There's also a full video on how to use it, how to make it, and all of it. I'll leave that down below too. If you're wanting to follow along with me, I'm going to be leaving all of the paint colors or whatever I'm doing right here in the left-hand corner. I'll be leaving the tools that I use over here in the right-hand corner. I do recommend watching the full video just in case I make a mistake, you don't repeat it. All right, let me finish getting these guidelines on here and we'll begin with that stencil. All right, you can see here that I put a mark in the very center and at the very top using this little Posca marker. That way I can hold this stencil right up to my guidelines and make sure it's good in center and good and in line on all 4 sides that I'm going to use it, just like this. As I began to trace this stencil on the side, it was really hard for me to hold on to with my left hand. Y'all, I got out a piece of painter's tape and I just taped this baby down right there where it needs to be, and it made my life so much easier. I used my left hand to just kind of smooth the stencil down on that stone as I went around tracing each of these rays, and it was so much better. Totally recommend doing that. You're gonna take this and do it on all 4 sides of this stone. Once I was finished with this stencil, I kept my watercolor pencil out and I did a little bit of adjusting. I'm not sure I can explain what I did next. I just altered the design. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let this play and I will add really good chapters at the bottom. If you wanna skip this part or skip around to any part of the video, go for it. If you really want to support my channel, you'll watch the whole thing through and you'll subscribe and like and leave me a comment and share and do all of that fun stuff. But if you're in a hurry and you just want to get on with it, check out those chapters. All right, I think this looks really cool, so I'm gonna leave it there. I'm gonna get a wet Q-tip and I'm gonna go through and erase all of the lines that I don't want, clean this up a little bit, and have some more fun. All right, before I put this watercolor pencil away, I want to just add a few doodles real quick to the center, and then we're gonna get out that paint. All right, I think that looks really cool. I can't wait to see where this goes once we start painting. I am gonna go ahead and pick as my first color that Emerald Flash. I think I'm gonna let that one be the star of the show. I always kind of favor one color over all the rest, and I think on this project, I'm gonna go with that Emerald Green. All right, now I'm gonna be using this blue quartz. Y'all, it's kind of a stringy, gooey type paint, but it's so beautiful. I'm gonna go ahead and add a few drops of the Flow Aid additive to it. That's gonna make it really move around the rock a lot easier. It's gonna make it want to stick to my dotting tool a little bit better. Honestly, I just think everything's better with Flow Aid, y'all. I could give you reason after reason, but I just love this stuff. All right, next I'm gonna use that white pearl. Y'all, I'm not gonna add anything to it because this is a fairly new bottle and the consistency is still really good. I don't think it needs any help. All right, now I'm gonna use that platinum paint. It is also just like the blue quartz and part of the Treasure Gold series from Folk Art. Y'all, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say so far, if you're just looking at these paints, they are probably my favorite metallics. But they aren't my favorite to work with, so I always try to add that Flow Aid to it. It really does make it just a little bit easier. But now, you've gotta watch those bubbles. Oh, I love this center design. It almost looks 3D, like the swooshes or teardrops are going down deeper. I don't know if that makes sense. The green flower seems like it's more in front of all of that. Y'all, I think it needs some bling. So I'm totally going to be adding these glass rhinestones to it. They are so pretty. I'll leave a link for them down below. Anyway, I am going to go ahead and add one to the center, and then I'm probably going to add them throughout this whole rock. Okay, I'm going to get out my fine line brush, and I'm going to go ahead and start painting those doodles I did earlier. I'm adding Flow Aid to that Emerald Flash because it's going to make it so much easier to paint with my brush. I really like the way this looks. Y'all, the whole time that I've been painting this, I just keep staring around the edges at that stencil, and I don't have a clue. I thought maybe I could dot the rays, and then I thought, well, what if I did little doodles in the rays? Well, I'm struggling trying to figure out what to do, and then it hit me. What if I don't use it like a stencil at all? What if I use it like a guideline? What about giant swipes? Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm going for it. I think I'm so nervous about this because, I mean, the inside's so pretty. And I mean, this is a big, bold move. Like in my little world, this is me being really brave on this rock. So I have to think it's going to work. I just keep imagining, check out, all my swipes are going to be so symmetrical and it's going to be so pretty. I have no idea, y'all. It's another one of those times where I don't know. I don't have a clue what I'm doing, but you know what? We're going to do it and just see how we're going to see how it turns out. Let's go. Oh, wow, y'all, that is really, really striking. I'm thinking it reminds me of, I don't know where I saw it before, maybe on TV, but have you ever seen the old French decor where they have like the stripes with the flowers in them? That whole, it's like a wallpaper vibe, I'm thinking, like maybe in a behind a vanity or something like that. I don't know what I'm talking about, but that's what it makes me think of anyway. All right, let me see if I can pull some of those doodles. We'll call that greenery. I want to see if I can pull some of it down, and I want some more of those teardrops. I want to bring the center all in between those swipes, if that makes sense. So that's what I'm going to try to do. Let's see. Oh my gosh, you guys, isn't that the neatest design? These little teardrops coming together there with that green swipe. It makes me think of a zipper. I don't know. I think this is turning out really cool. Isn't it fun when you design something and you yourself don't even know what it's going to turn out like, and then you get to watch it and you're like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. If you guys are not feeling that way about your art, oh my gosh, you got to do it. Just let loose and have some fun and be like, oh my gosh, this turned out so cool. Anyway, I hope you all get to experience this. I can still remember seeing my first mandala and thinking to myself, holy cow, I will never be able to do that. That looks so intricate. It looks so hard. It looks so detailed. Holy cow, they must have spent forever on that type of thing. And still to this day, from my first mandala all the way to this one right here, I'm telling you, I still just look at them and I get like this little kid giddy grin on my face, like, oh, look what I did. And I'm so excited about it. And I really, really, really hope you guys all feel that way about your art too. Don't be afraid to show that, you guys. I was so scared for so long to get excited about my own art. Like, people would think I was pretentious or cocky or any of that, but I think y'all know me well enough by now to know that's not the case. I just get so excited because, look at what we're doing here, y'all. Oh my gosh, I'll be quiet. Let's get back to painting. All right, adding that greenery down there kind of was like a little bit too much for me. So I'm gonna take just a second here. I'm gonna get my cotton swab out and I'm gonna go ahead and erase those guidelines in the middle. And I'm gonna start adding that bling, those glass rhinestones in there, because I think that's really gonna kind of tone down that greenery and see if it's all gonna be okay. And if it's not, I'll change it. So let's add some diamonds to this thing and see where it goes. Okay, I can already tell that's going to make it much, much better. Thank goodness. I was really sitting here like, how am I going to fix that? But I don't have to. I think these little glass rhinestones are a hero right now. Oh my gosh, I love this so much. But when I erase those guidelines down at the bottom of all those swipes, I see that not all of my swipes are the same length. I'm going to take this fine line brush and I'm going to kind of extend all of the short swipes down so that they all kind of match. Okay, I'm loving it so much. I'm going to stop right here. I'm going to let it dry for a couple of days, and then I'm going to resin over the entire stone, front and back. I've got a full video on how I resin my stones. I'm going to do this one just like all the others. All right, while I do that, I'm going to leave you a short supply recap right here of everything that I used. I've put links down in the description. Those are affiliate links, so if you click and shop through those, I may earn a commission through qualifying purchases, and it doesn't cost y'all any extra. All right, while you do that, let me get ready for the final reveal. No, you guys, you've got to leave me a comment down below. What do you think of this? I know that was a really weird way to use a stencil, and maybe it wasn't the right way, but there's no way I'm looking at this stone and saying I did anything wrong. I love it so much, you guys. I hope you do too. I hope you give it a try. Y'all, if you are being inspired by these tutorials, if you're following along and you're making these stones, the canvases, any of it, leave a comment over on the community page. I am just dying to see your art. Y'all don't know how much that inspires me to keep making these tutorials. It makes me feel like they're doing what they're supposed to. And I just want to know that you guys are getting something out of this. All right, y'all. Don't forget I left all those links down below. I want to give a huge shout out to my channel members. I've been picking random channel members and putting them up on the channel banner and having a lot of fun with my channel members here lately. All right, you guys, I'm going to be quiet. I'm going to leave you a full playlist right here of some more 4.5-inch stones. And I'm going to leave you another video right here that YouTube thinks you're going to want to watch. And until next time, rock on.